really beginning to see this garden coming into its own. New that it is. We've got some beautiful colours here, look. Well, not ideal conditions, it's raining slightly, but what a lovely, at last my little flower gardens are coming together. I've only got another week and it's not much sunshine forecast, so I'm going to get out now, and it's actually raining a bit now, so I'll give it a go because I don't want to miss out on this lovely scene. I'm so looking forward to painting this, and if I can I'll paint it a few times this next week, but it depends on the weather. Let's have a go with the acrylics anyway on a small 24 canvas and give it a go. Trying out the external microphone tool, we'll see how that works. The usual thing at first, we'll set up a quick drawing and just know where the composition is going to be, and then open up the palette of paints after that and work fast. I like to get in this lovely square of colours. It's a lovely composition, it really is. The centre has a loop in. I've got a branch coming in, there's a tree trunk coming in there, and the centre loop in is there, that bunch of... I'm just going to do it as just basic shapes at first. Halfway here, there's a lovely bunch of leaves coming down there into the composition, which is lovely, which is nice, like that. And as I was saying, that pink loop is about halfway. Yes. So I've got that's the loop in there. I've got a daisy about here, and a white loop in there. About a quarter up that one, coming in there. That loop in there, that loop in there. All those daisies coming down into here. Yeah, that should just about work out. Makes a nice framed little composition. Let's get on with the background colours. I'm going to paint background in straight away in this case. I want to get the light flowers on top this time, and hopefully, even though it's wet, it'll allow me to show a little bit of water first. And let's have a look at these gorgeous colours in here straight away. I'm going to look at the blue there behind that. It's a little bit down on that, so I'm going to take it down a bit, a little bit of yellow ochre. Yeah, that's better. Maybe a bit darker than that, in fact, we'll see in a minute. That's a lovely turquoise green going on behind there, a bit of blue, just a little touch of blue into that, a little bit of a very light turquoise blue happening. Comes right on and through in the background there, up into here. To try and get as pure colours as I can. I've got just so much to paint, and the weather is just it's not nice at all, so it's drizzling at the moment, so hopefully the camera will be alright. I hope the camera's picking up the sound, because if this microphone works, although there's no wind today, I'm hoping that with it being covered in a foam, it won't be as susceptible to the wind as I've had to deal with not being able to set up at the moment a radio mic. Now that one's there, and these various lovely light greens and yellow greens are coming through into here and cut through into this light piece here straight away, dark down to there, right up into there. Lovely thing to paint. I just wish we had some sunshine, but never mind, we'll manage. Those poppies are going to come in now. There's a bit of red there for fun, so I know where they're going to be. Here. It's a low light today, so it's very grey light, so I'm not going to get these beautiful bright oranges and reds, colours that I'd like sparkling in this, but it should be alright. There isn't time when weather's like this to faff about. You've really got to get on as fast as you can. Start to mix the colours on the canvas. Not time to even go back to the palette to mix. I need to get these colours on and established. This fir tree's got the very blue tint to it. These other leaves are going to come through there. Just much lighter green just going up through into there. very light green just behind there, shining through these leaves. Possibly hear the rain on the microphone, I don't know. It's just drizzling at the moment, and as long as it doesn't get stronger I'll be alright. To establish the different shades at the moment and get canvas covered. It's raining a bit heavier, but I must get on. That's there, then these lovely darks are coming up into here. Painting very heavily, but even if the rain does hit this, it shouldn't make too much damage. Prussian blue I'm adding on now. Some of these darks established back into here. Really so much to do. I just need to get these greens on at the moment. Establish all these lovely lights and darks here. Rough against smooth, warm against cool, and light against dark is what we're doing now. Just being aware of the colour hues at the moment, just only aware, I can't do too much about them. I'm going to try to add those colours in as I go along. Almost got it covered, and that's the main thing at the minute. Put all these colours in and then come back and start to tidy up with more careful painting, and always making my brush marks about what I'm painting, even if they're not going to be exact. As long as they're about it, that's going to give me a feeling of spontaneity and about the subject. And I can go back into this while it's still wet, because I'm painting so fast the acrylic isn't really having a lot of time to dry. I've got to lose all of these bits of white canvas. I can't stand that. I don't know about you, but I need to get rid of all these little nasty bits of snowflake that are going on there. I haven't got time to treat every little leaf and fern the same way or differently. I've just got to get in there and get on with this now. If I can get all of this background just established, it'll be a good start. Interesting differences in colour there that I didn't pick up on already. Going to have to find those colours. Some more orangey greens going on there. Find these lovely colours almost immediately, even back into there. Let's go back to these darks and establish some of the real darks in the background here. There's some lovely, lovely darks happening. Apply this paint on. Really want to get beautiful darks coming into here. Rain down on me, but I don't mind. I'm going to get this painting done, rain or not. It's my beautiful little bit of garden that I built up especially for this purpose, and I really do want to make the most of it. I just love plastering on. This is the beauty of these heavy bodies, especially when they've had time to dry a little bit. They're much heavier than they were now, because they've dried just that bit, and it's allowing me to work with them a little more heavily. Just notice a nice blackbird starting to nest. We're about the 18th of June, and it's quite late for the birds to be nesting, but everything's going to pop with the world, with this global warming and seasonal changing. I can't tell what's happening where. These grasses, leaves and herbs and different marks I've got to try and make coming down into here. to get the background foliage right here as I can. And I can start to work on these different leaves now. No sun, so I shan't get that lovely sparkle today I like to have. It's a little bit deeper back there into there. With this lovely blue-green going on. Trying to make sure you get the best view of this, because I can paint at the slight angle here, it doesn't really matter now. I just start needing to get my different greens and yellows and warms and orange greens, and now's where I've got to start playing with these beautiful different coloured hues. Finding those here. I've got quite a lot of pre-made greens as it is, but I'm going to still have to mix and match. I want to get pure colour happening on here. Nice slabs of colour and texture as well. If I've got leaves that are coming out, and these lupin leaves for instance need to come out in star shapes like this. So make your brush marks just about what is there, and hopefully you'll start to get a feeling of the actual that yellow green is coming in up here too, right into these, amongst these shadows up there. Don't want to get too muddy. Still have to reflect these light colours. Lovely blocks of beautiful colours that are breaking out into cascades of these lovely leaves. Even on a dull day like this, it's nice to paint them. And yellow ochre, we want some warmer leaves, much warmer, more orange going on down here. Differences between colour hues again. Just dragging it over the surface like that, look, just to get the feeling of these. Okay, let's start to work up some proper colour in a minute. A bit more of these lovely reflecting light greens first. So I'll take a little 1/4 inch filbert now, and we'll just have a go at these poppies already, just slap on some reds and where the poppies are. So that comes there, the poppies start here. They're going to come right across to here. It's fairly warm, this red. It's not as brilliant as I'd really like yet. We'll see in a minute when I get further. Yeah, I just want to paint in blocks of colour at first, just to get the feeling of these. Get them in the right places and the right shapes first of all. And take some of my lovely ultramarine blue. Start looking at where, take cobalt first of all, just start looking at this beautiful delphinium here. It really is lovely. Nice big blue petals there. Working its way right down. Where does it come down to? It comes down to about here, yes. Now some ultramarine with that. Lovely rich dark sky blue ultramarine. Nice thick slabs of colour. I love pasting on the colour like this. And that comes across to here where we've got a flower coming in down there, and purples. Start using some pure colours now, just to, it's a bit darker than that, but some of that is going in amongst that blue to make it seem warmer. Into that blue, I'm going to put a deeper blue. I'm going to put some compression down into there to feel that lupin, these two lupins. Maybe put a little bit of cream on there later as well. We'll just get this very light blue at first. That lovely light blue, in fact, is coming in over here as well. It's coming in on this beautiful delphinium. To get strong enough paint, I've got some water on there, and I don't want water on there. I want pure paint coming down. Just want to lay it on the surface. It's a bit gungy. This is not a heavy body, this one. It's a standard acrylic, and you can see the difference. It's much gungier, not nearly as attractive, and I can't put those pure colours on as I want with this one. It's great for skies and things, but not happening with this. Whilst we're on that light pink, a little bit of magenta with it. Got the background flowers here. Light pink and a bit of magenta. Define these flowers right back up into there. We're starting to get the glow of the flowers now, aren't we? Let's come down to the lupins. There's here, this is lovely. Again, just try and get your strokes in the same direction as the actual flowers. So these lupins here have a series of strokes coming down, making the actual bud or petal shapes up all the way down there. I didn't want to miss painting this, and even rain or not, I want to be out here doing it. It's so lovely, and I do love a bit of gardening like this, and making flower gardens to actually paint is such a real pleasure. And there's some much warmer, deeper colours in there too. Take some brown sienna into this. Down here, and down here especially. Bit of burnt sienna, coming down this lupin right down to the base here. Some little itsy bitsy bits of colour that I'm going to put in yet. I haven't got anywhere near yet. There's not enough sunshine yet to do this, but we'll just start to look at some of the way these leaves come into here, catch the sunlight just a bit. This I need to do with a smaller brush as well. These lupin spikes of leaves on these lupins. Take some of that lovely blue to go against the poppies up here. Bring them out a bit. The opposites in the colour circle, you know, the green and the red and the blue and the red to really get the feel of these wonderful vibrances of colour back there. We play one colour against another to get the vibrancy that we need as an impressionist. The sky is shining down on these leaves from here too. We've got to get that reflection happening. One colour against another. Just getting those right colours is so important. Constantly striving to put one colour against another to make sure that they're right. Put a bit of burnt sienna into that red here to try and get the warmth. One colour coming into another. I need a small brush in a minute because I'll start doing these daisies. I'll start painting daisy leaves in, but it's going to be great fun. You've got to keep looking for all these different lights, shades and colours. Not always the colours you think are reflecting that are. Some of them are warmer, some of them are pinker. Very orange tree going on up behind. Here that I just noticed. While the colour's on my brush, I will use it. One pear's just coming in there. That warmth that's through here as well has a bit of orange going on. Just glowing through the background there. There's a very sort of strange yellow yellow orange there. It's a bit of that, a bit of lemon yellow in my orange, and just see if we can pick up this colour behind here. It's a little bit duller than that, so I'll just take it back a bit in a minute. It's about time to start looking at the colours. It's almost time to start those daisies. I must get those in. I don't want them to be too twee. The brush marks have to be right too, so the tip of this brush just right for these marks now. I might have to change to a smaller brush for doing daisies. A daisy brush. I'm going to use just a pointy brush for that, hopefully, and start with my whites, and I'm going to add darker colours to that in a minute. Now let's see, the first one comes here. Hoping my other paint's underneath the dry. I have to take this now. These daisies are very important in this, and as I said, I don't want to make them too twee. A little bit thicker in the petals than that, that's better. And they come right through, they're lovely, they build up all the way through here. I'm managing to get away with the rain. Look, the rain's getting heavier and heavier, so I'm having to hope for the best that I can manage to finish this painting. And I'm well into it now. I've established all of the colours and where they're going. This is what I wanted when I grew them. I knew I planted all of these plants almost in the place I wanted to paint them later. So that's when a garden becomes a work of art, eh? There we are. Plein balances is something else. Now, that's what we're going to have to do next, is look at these daisies to make the whole thing balance. We need another big one here, I think. So we can move things around and add or subtract as we want the feeling of this place. Now, back on those petals, and I want to get some shadow into them. I'm going to take a little bit of my mixture of magenta and cerulean, which gives me a lovely light grey like this look. Beautiful colour. And it allows me to put some shadow into the petals. And onto that we need the yellow in the middle and the green. So first I'm going to add a little bit of very light green, I think. We'll make dark green to the centre there. Yeah, the dark green just in the centres of them before I put the yellow on. And then I want to come back with the yellow. I'm going to use a cadmium here. Just find the centres. Should be dark enough. I have to put a little bit of deeper yellow on here and there, but we'll just see first. Touch of cadmium deep into it. Daisy yellow, as you might say. And they've all got this little bit, they're not a penny a yard, but they've all got this little bit of yellow going. Now we're able to start on details, you see, so let's take this brush and look at these branches here. Some lovely branches. Dark and light. We'll start with the alizarin. Just see if I can mark in some of the branches with that. So it's been raining the whole time, but only very lightly, so I'm not soaked. Same back here with these stems of grasses and so on that are coming up there, and also the stems of the poppies. You can see how loosely I've painted all of this, and now we're just going to start picking out some of the effects here to give the feeling of these stems, and I'm not going into detail on them. Well, a little detail I suppose, but not really painting every mark in that's there, just feelings about them. And you can see how I've done it as well, so if you want to have a go at your own gardens, it gives you a chance to see techniques and how you could have a go. Now that lovely grey from earlier, my palette's getting so wet now that I'm just painting wet into wetness. I want some of that lovely grey coming through these branches. A bit warmer. So I need to be a bit warmer than that. Take it up to magenta. So I've got to do a lot more now. I am just about there. I just do a bit more. It's very light stems here and there, but I haven't quite got. My very deep blue and black into here and just start to find a few of these darker patches that are in here. Every mark you make should have a meaning. It shouldn't just be a mark for purpose, just for the sake of making a mark. It should actually do something on the painting. I gradually bring out some of these petals now and leaves. I've just indicated earlier, now I'm going to work into them a bit more. As against this more lighter yellow, bluey green. Right, these greens here I want to find a bit more clearly. I have such a wet palette now. That comes up here and there's a lovely leaf that comes in there. Through here and there. These slightly larger leaves now into the foreground here. These leaves are just shining through in the background there. Darker here. Lovely reflections of the sky across many of these leaves. Happy to find the little greens amongst them as well. There's quite a lot of blue-green in there. Right, there's a lighter green. Going on behind here, these beautiful leaves that are captured behind. These lovely bits of green that are closer to us here. And then if you've got that colour on your brush, and again if it's somewhere else, you need to go back and work at it a bit. Really, I think I can do a lot more today because it's just getting too wet now. And my paint's getting rather wet. Even the surface of the canvas now is starting to get a bit slippy. I can't do too much more. There, I hope that's been fun for you. I think I can do much more now with this rain. Some of the veins in these little stems and these leaves coming into here. So it's a dull day, and we've reflected that. But even so, we've come up with, I think, quite an attractive little painting. It's a little bit of blue back into the background here to link it with the foreground.
We'll do it.
We'll finish at that. Try and sign it. Won't be easy in this wet. Well, there we are then. It is possible to paint in the rain, but you don't get those lovely bright lights and darks and cascades of light across it that you would in sunnier weather. Even so, I'm very wet, but it's very enjoyable, and at last I managed to paint some of the garden that I've been growing. Well, there we are. My palette's getting full of water now. I'm going to have to tip it out. So, that's enough for today. And we'll go and let this dry off.